Earlier this year, Red vs. Blue ended its 21-year run. 15 seasons and so many years of memories came to an abrupt end. And with this, what some would call untimely ending of the series, I thought to myself, what could I find that could fill the void? Red vs. Blue started as a comedy and bloomed into this immersive story that captured people of all ages, including me when I was in high school. I started browsing different machinimas to see if something would click. Bone, Impact, The New Guy, even Crash. But then something popped up in my recommended. A little series called Guard Duty. So strap in, folks, I'm gonna take you on a however long journey on Guard Duty, the story, the characters, and the fanon that I've invented. So let's start. What is Guard Duty? Guard Duty is a Halo-based machinima comedy series created by Sip the Mighty and Revoltage. The series started January 5th, 2012, in what we now know as the Classic continuity. Surprisingly, Classic had a 10-year hiatus between episodes 5 and 6. Ever since their comeback in 2022, Spikebox Studios finished the Classic series and started what I am dubbing the Modern continuity. And hopefully, I'll have this video out just in time for the Guard Duty Modern's 1-year anniversary. Before we start, I want to disclose that while we are following the Modern storyline, I will be drawing ideas from the Classic series, as I think there are a few things from the characters specifically that I find interesting and would like to carry over. I also want to let it be known that while Spikebox Studios does have a wiki for Guard Duty, I decided to make this video based solely on the series and not any bonus material outside of the videos on their YouTube channel. The series starts with Geff feeling underutilized at Outpost Blackout. The outpost is in the middle of nowhere and has seen no activity in the 3 years he's been stationed there. He has called HQ so many times to where Commander Ignacio considers blocking the outpost altogether. Thankfully, because of his level-headed second-in-command Randy, he doesn't stoop to those levels, but he does send a repair robot to try and kill some of the guards on Blackout. Blackout seems to be the least maintained of the safe program outpost, as things are breaking constantly and HQ clearly does not care for the base or the guards on it.
We did sort of strand him on one of our least productive outposts.
Why is the technology here so goddamn archaic?
Because the budget for this shitty place is $10.
It's not clear why the guards are even there.
I just envisioned so much more when I signed up. It's kind of a letdown. Guarding a solitary outpost in a vast ocean of nothingness with no discernible strategic advantage.
Seems sound.
It's alleged by HQ that the SAFE program might be an anti-terrorist unit providing general security around the UNSC territories. This further adds to the confusion on how important Blackout is, as it's so far from civilization or any important bases of operation.
We have been here for over 3 years with no attacks, no orders, and seemingly no end in sight.
Around the same time Geff becomes restless about his position at Blackout, an entity known as Trinity Advancements contacts the SAFE program about having him discharged.
For some ungodly reason, Trinity Advancements has requested we discharge Private Geff Rodrigo. I find it odd that anyone would want anything to do with those idiots, let alone a company like Trinity.
Commander Ignacio wants to take this opportunity to have the company take not only Geff, but the rest of the Blackout guards, so he won't have to deal with them any longer. Trinity possibly supplies SAFE and other UNSC contractors with more advanced equipment, including robots. Later in the season, we can see one of Trinity's robots, Pathfinder, was sent to Blackout to collect a blood sample of sorts to send back to their leadership. Meanwhile, Geff has found an advertisement on UNSC's Waypoint Mail about the Spartan 4 program. The ad states that SAFE program guards can apply, thus leading Geff to signing up the entire outpost. He did this as he thinks the group would like to do more with their lives, just like him, but he is sorely mistaken.
Fine. We're transferred to the all-new Spartan program.
I thought that was just a rumor.
It'll be fun. We get to go on missions across the galaxy. Like the real fight, you know? finally do some genuine good for humanity.
Literally, none of that is accurate.
The only person who seems excited about this chance would be the only other man, Miller. The rest rightfully get mad at Geff for signing their rights away to become super soldiers. Or so they think. Sarah, the group's engineer, does some more research and learns the Spartan 4 program ended years ago. Along with this, it seemed like some of the safe servers have been wiped clean. This leads to an even further distrust in HQ than before. When they are picked up, there's a sense of dread in the air, as word is spread to some of the other guards that something is wrong with the information Geff received from HQ. This is only validated by the shady Spartan that picks them up. The group expects a soldier of some quality, but the one that they're presented with seems unhinged and regularly insults them.
I just want you to know, you are the lowest form of life, lower than a single-celled amoeba.
While the men are quick to trust this Spartan, the women, already wary of the situation at hand, are not keen on doing the same.
This guy sounds a bit off-kilter for a Spartan, don't you think?
Spread across 10 episodes, the Guard Duty Modern series was pretty easy to follow. Unlike Classic, I didn't find it as grating, and it was very easy to binge. I got to the end of it and I was like, is that it? And then I was told that there was more episodes coming out. This was before we got episodes 9 and 10. Like, I'm sorry, Spybox. Guard Duty Classic was kinda rough. Granted, you did give me Emery singing.
But I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
So now you're probably wondering, who's Emery, or Geff, or any of the other characters that I mentioned in the story synopsis? Well, let me introduce you to the guards of Guard Duty. Captain Miller is the leader of the guards at Blackout. It's possible he has hygiene problems as he's known to be smelly. Even HQ knows.
I mean, I also think you're a green Neanderthal. And you smell bad. Jesus, you smell really bad. What?
Kill the smelly green one.
He's almost as bad as this smelly CO.
But that could also be the smell of moldy bagels.
What the fuck?
Miller is the oldest of the group, and it's implied that he's even older than the guards' parents.
Your parents had mourned me for my heroic war efforts that most likely saved them and millions of others, only to have ungrateful little bastards like you running around.
He also served in the war as an ODST and was possibly a strategist. It's also been implied that he has earned 5 awards, but that could be Miller exaggerating his importance in the war. It's possible he joined the SAFE program because he was unable to allow himself to retire. It's also been implied that Miller's wife was killed while serving in the UNSC, or was one of the many nameless civilians that died during the war. Despite being looked down upon by his superiors in the UNSC, SAFE program, and by Spartans, Miller still sucks up to them. Miller is suggested to be Southern by his accent and frequent sayings, a very Sarge type, if you will. Despite the implication of him being a strategist during the war, he comes off as very simple-minded. Miller is also sexist and believes in toxic masculinity. He frequently undermines the women of his team, mostly Sarah, and he also sees Geff as a weakling and not a real man because of how he was raised.
I don't accept an answer from a goddamn woman.
A goddamn what?
And this is why the UNSC shouldn't be recruiting women. You just can't rely on women, Geff.
Despite the Sangheili helping humanity towards the end of the war, he still has a disdain for the alien species. His negative thinking is possibly why his son cut contact with him.
Like my deadbeat son? Hell no.
You have a son?
The second most ranked member of Blackout is Corporal Nicole Vega. There's no real tell as to how Nicole achieved the rank of Corporal. She's mostly known for being the strongest person on the Blackout team. She's looked to when handling combat situations, like taking down rogue robots, or moving heavy objects. She's also been known to be a rather aggressive individual and has sent several people to the hospital, including previous teammates on Outpost Blackout.
I impaled 2 of them with a single pool cue. It was fucking awesome.
We need backup. Nicole!
Don't hurt yourself. I'll get it off, dork.
This leads her to being the de facto protector of the other girls, her sister June and Sarah. Though it's not stated explicitly, we can see through their interactions that Nicole seems to have a little crush on her teammate. She mostly pairs off with Sarah and shows interest in her hobbies like reading. Later on in the season, she expresses worry over her as she's locked herself in a room while doing research on the Spartan program they've signed up for. You can see the crush from both sides form as the series progresses.
I know! She's locked herself up in her room, but I need her to laugh at my jokes.
Nicole, you're so strong.
I know, right?
Private June Vega is Nicole's sister. You really can't tell if she's younger or older, but I think Nicole is older simply by her being a higher rank than June. In the classic series, June actually started out as Josh and transitioned halfway through the first season. The modern series doesn't really talk about her transition, but it's implied that Safe HQ still deadnames her, as Nicole has to specify several times that her sister is, in fact, June.
And I'm requesting a new helmet for June Vega on Outpost Blackout, due to a major malfunction with her current one. Once again, the new helmet is for June Vega. June. Can you do that? For June.
June and Nicole both grew out in the Outer Rim colonies of the UNSC territories. The two got up to a lot of trouble as they both know how to hotwire vehicles, and June has had to bail her sister out of jail after getting into a nasty bar fight.
It was the Outer Colonies, Geff, aka the most broke-ass quadrant in the galaxy. I'm gonna hijack this thing. I'm guessing you want in?
While Nicole is irritable towards the men of Blackout, June seems to be more aloof with most people, but shows kindness to the other girls on the outpost. Private Sarah Dawes is the underappreciated engineer of Outpost Blackout. She really is the smartest person on the team. Unlike the other women on her team, she grew up relatively privileged.
But I grew up with a distinguished palate for food cooked from the finest chefs under my mother's employ.
It's not known why someone of her status joined the SAFE program, though this could lead one to believe that the guards of the SAFE program were drafted, just like in the classic series. As the team's engineer, Sarah appreciates when the team needs her help from time to time.
Aha! Now you're asking the right person.
He's asking the only person.
Though she can have a short temper when dealing with HQ or having to put up with Miller's sexism. In situations like those, she can always turn to Nicole to help her out in some way.
Oh, Nicole! Thank God I'm losing my mind here!
I keep telling you two those guys are useless. You'd have a more productive time talking to a wall.
Do you think you can take over the call for me? I promise I'll pay you back. I could clean our room?
Alright, whatever.
Such favors are only reserved for her. It's more than obvious that Sarah has a crush on Nicole, from inviting her to take part in her interests to dreamily remarking how strong her teammate is. It seems every episode has some little indicator that she has a crush on Nicole.
I finally got Nicole to watch Lord of the Rings with me. To lie down and get this headache to piss off. You could come along, if you want.
Lastly is our main character, Private Geff Alejandro Esteban Montoya Francisco Rodrigo. Unlike the other guards on Blackout, he wants to do something with himself. If the other guards were drafted, it's most likely that Geff joined SAFE all on his own. He's the optimist of the group, and unlike the others, he tries to be friends with everyone.
Ooh, hey, Captain.
Not now, Waterboy.
Do you think Miller likes me?
Does anyone like you?
Hey!
His sunny disposition is probably why everyone on Blackout hates him, no matter what he does. They'll insult, gaslight, and even use him as a scapegoat.
I need to know who was on guard downstairs.
It was Geff, probably.
She's lying! Her and Sarah were downstairs trying to fix June's helmet.
I remember seeing Geff downstairs.
How? You couldn't see, remember?
Despite all that, he still sees the best in everyone. This leads him to be easily manipulated, not only by the people around him, but by HQ and other outside forces. Geff's sensitive disposition probably comes from the progressive household he grew up in. His mother is the breadwinner of the family, which led to him being raised by his father. He knows his mom does important things, which led him to want to do something more with his life, though why he didn't join her at Trinity Advancements is unknown.
My dad was the one who actually took care of me growing up.
since my mom worked more often than he did. I wish I could do important work like my mom does.
It could be because he didn't have the qualifications to join such a prestigious tech company, and because they worked with Safe, it seemed like the second best choice. Gef's mother is probably the reason why he was sent to such a secluded outpost, away from any danger. It would give him something to do but keep him out of harm's way. That, or Commander Ignacio saw him as a nepo baby and stuck him with the rest of the unwanted guards. In the background of our main story, there's a desperado spying around the different safe bases and killing whoever gets in their way. A Spartan called Emery is the one responsible. It's unclear why he has a vendetta against Safe or Trinity Advancements. It's implied that the root of this takes place during his time as a guard at Rat's Nest during the Safe program. It's possible that after the events of Rat's Nest, he ascended to the rank of Spartan. That would explain how he knows the ins and outs of their armor, and how to wipe files from their helmets. In the plot of Guard Duty Classic, it's revealed that he killed the husband of Trinity's director, Gef's mother. This causes her to send people after Emery, who in turn kidnaps Gef as collateral. The classic series ends here, but I theorize the same plot will carry through the modern series.
There's this bitch engineer at Trinity trying to kill me. Apparently I killed some guy she knew. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, her husband.
Which is why I kidnapped all of you, because one of you sad saps is her son. This guy isn't Gef, right?
Shouldn't be going to Blackout since that's where that Gef guy is.
Which one of these jackoffs do you think is Gef?
Emery is a narcissist and a bit unhinged. He thinks of himself highly and enjoys talking down to others, degrading them as he gloats about how he's better in every way.
Let me clue you in. I'm your worst fucking nightmare, okay? I'm like if Rage was a person, paying taxes and had a social security card, ready to unload at any goddamn second, you hear me?
He's countered by his companion Prim. Prim is either a ghost or a figment of Emery's imagination, but either way, both he and Emery know he's dead.
No, I'm just a ghost holding your annoying, egotistical, grotesque, lonesome self with a personal revenge for my death.
We'll figure it out by ear. Maybe if you had any fucking strategy, you'd still be alive.
It's unclear if the two were friends, but he is attached to Emery in some way. If he is imaginary, this would only further prove Emery's unhinged state of mind. Prim acts as the voice of reason and a level head to counter his companion's careless nature. As capable as Emery is, it's clear he does not care about collateral damage unless it serves to hinder him in any way. He will slaughter a base full of guards without a care, but then go out of his way to clear the files of a Spartan's helmet. It's unclear if he did this of his own volition, or if Prim had to remind him to do so, as he also has to remind Emery to turn off cameras in some cases.
Did you already deactivate the cameras here?
Now when the fuck would I have done that? We just got here.
Then how are you gonna kill them and get away with it, jackass?
Who said I care enough to get away with it?
Just bring all of them. It looks like they were being reassigned anyway.
It's not just Emery causing problems for the SAFE program. A shadowy figure is working with a group of elites. It's not clear what their motive is at this time, other than going after Spartans.
Tell me, if you've seen a Spartan, how considered letting you keep your head?
Upon finding Emery, they are quick to attack and subsequently flee from him. It's unclear if they know each other from the past.
You! This isn't over, Spartan!
Maybe, just like him, this mysterious person was mistreated by the SAFE program, or even the UNSC. During Sarah's research into the Spartan program, she found out that guards had been going missing or turning up dead. From what we've learned, we know that this is the work of both Emery and this stranger. In the after credits, we see a figure by the name of Brigadier following the trail that Emery has left behind, though it's clear that they don't know it's actually him. From the information Sarah dug up, we know that she's a war hero. Despite this, the information fed to Brigadier is that the murder they're investigating was done by some space pirates. She's only tipped off that the information is wrong when her AI companion informs her that their victim's helmet logs had been wiped. Randy had confided in the victim, the Spartan that was supposed to pick up the blackout guards, that there were more things going on behind the scenes at SAFE.
Typical Ignacio.
There are larger things at play that I can't share with you, Alana. Just focus on the assignment and it will eventually make sense.
This section is going to be a little more rambly because it's unscripted. And enjoy the firefight footage. I only decided to cover the main characters and the enemies of the series, along with our bonus character, because honestly, I don't think I could make myself even try to figure out what the hell is going on HQ. Commander Ignacio? Weird. Randy? Whack. The other operators there? Honestly, they're only in sides, they're not really in the main series, but still. But you know what? I can still make some headcannons. So we're gonna go down the list of characters, and I'm gonna share with you my headcanons for them, starting with Geff. Geff is the baby boy, the sunshine, cannot do anything wrong. I just want to squeeze this man so much and just tell him everything's gonna be okay. Anytime anyone, dunks on him, I feel so bad, because, Geff hasn't done anything wrong! He's just a baby boy! I bet he cooks for the outpost, and they, don't realize. They probably think it's, MREs. But the boy cooks. He makes snow sculptures, because why not? Blackout is covered in snow. He's gonna make a snowman in the 3 years he's been there, or more. Considering he says he knows dance and his very sensitive disposition, I'd like to think that he did ballet. That seems like, he seems like a ballet boy. He definitely has mommy issues, because his mom was probably absent, really? I mean, if you're part of a high-tech corporation, you're probably not around your family a lot. He's also a very video game type boy, though he probably does do Dungeons and Dragons every now and again, just with himself, because everyone fucking hates him. And I believe that, in his first year, maybe even the first month, he tried to start a game night, and, nobody showed up, so he just has, game nights with himself. And he just has very, boy next door vibes. I could see an AU where, the guards of guard duty are, on a cul-de-sac, and Geff just has, the blue house, and he's like, "Hi, everybody, here's some cookies, I'm new to the neighborhood." And everyone just, still hates him for no reason. Free my boy Geff, he deserves better. Alright, June. I think that June fashions her hairstyles after her sister, because, it's Nicole. It seems like if Nicole is the older sibling, it's someone to look up to. June is probably still trying to find her style as a trans woman. You can see through the series that her speech patterns change a bit. Towards the end of the series, she has more of a Valley Girl accent going on. I don't know what that's about, but that's why I theorize that she's just still trying to find herself.
Oh, okay. You're volunteering this conversation. Where's Sarah? She's usually glued to your
She
hip.
has that one skirt from Amazon. If you know, you know. She stays in her room whenever she can. This isn't really a headcanon. I mean, you see it in the series, June barely shows up. So I think she's just in her room the whole time. She was orphaned by the war or has absent parents, and this is mostly just from her upbringing in the Outer Rims with her sister. And she's definitely alternative. You cannot tell me that she has no, that girl's alt. That girl's alt. Alright, Nicole. I'm sorry, but she has very Vi energy. If you watched Arcane, Nicole has Vi energy. She misses the chaos of her life before the safe program, bar fights, living on the Outer Rim, hot wiring cars, the chaos. I think because of that, she was forced to join the military, either by draft or court order, and was just shoved into the safe program to just put her somewhere. And she's absolutely a gym rat. If she's the strongest person, she's definitely putting into work in the outpost gym. And just like June, because her siblings, orphaned by the war and has absent parents. As for Sarah, I think because of her wealth that she grew up in the inner colonies, or possibly on Earth, but honestly, inner colonies. She was raised by her mother, and her father was probably not in the picture. We have no evidence for this, but it's a headcanon. Who cares? I feel like she low-key misses going to high society events, like afternoon tea or galas. I don't know, like, where you dress up and you go and you do important things, but it's not really important, it's just socializing. She has very light academia vibes, and she listens to lo-fi when on her computer. As for Miller, I will subscribe to him actually being a strategist, but he had a career-ending brain injury, and that's why he's so stupid. Like, I'm sorry, Miller, you are so stupid. Honestly, like, Miller and Sarge were probably, like, related in some way if we're gonna put them in the same continuity, but we can't, because Safe seems to be, like, Freelancer, but not really, because Freelancer were the bad guy. You know where I'm coming from! You know where I'm coming from! Miller, we see the blueprint for you. Sorry, tangent over. I also think that he wears his wedding ring still, despite him, like, you know, my old lady, I don't like her, I mean, she's dead, but whatever. Like, I still think he wears his wedding ring regardless. I think he's the only one who grew up on Earth just because of how old he is. And he saw the beginning and the end of the war. Because of his hate for the elites, I'd like to think that he almost lost his life to one in the early days of the war. And he definitely has PTSD, but does not talk about it. As for kids, he doesn't like them, and only had one just to appease his wife. Like, it was very much a one and done. Like, his wife wanted kids, and he's like, alright, you get the one kid. It's whatever, I don't care about him. It's kind of a off-topic sort of thing. Off-topic, on-topic. I think that he yodeled as a young man before the war, and was probably in a bluegrass band. Honest to God, that seems so Miller to be in a bluegrass band. Now on to my favorite character. I cannot explain why I love Emery so much. It started with Classic, because it was like, alright, this is the series before the series, I'm gonna check it out. And just like, as soon as this guy showed up, I was like, please tell me more. And oh my god, I still, for no reason, love this guy. So my headcanons are that he is actually just insane. Like, the SAFE program broke him. Whatever happened to Prim, like, seriously messed him up. So he's really Deadpool-esque. Like, having Prim as, like, a ghost imaginary friend is, like, ugh. Off topic, I really think he would be somewhere to wear street/tech wear because it just looks cool. And then this last one actually stems from Classic and why I fell so goddamn hard. I think he sings in the shower. And I will once again thank Spikebox Studios for giving me singing Emery. And he is this my Roman Empire, just Emery singing? As for Prim, I don't have a lot for him. The only thing that I have for Prim is he is the Deathstroke to Emery's Deadpool. And I will not elaborate. Commander Ignacio? If he thinks Geff is a Nepo baby, he doesn't realize that he is also a Nepo baby. Because he probably got his position because his parent retired. Don't know if it would be his dad or his mom in the position that he is in right now, but I am so sure that he only got to where he is right now because he literally just swooped in and took his parents' position. Randy is like my glup shitto of this series. Like,
it's me,
Randy. Like, oh my god, he makes me smile whenever I hear his voice. Like, oh my god, like, the two people that I like are low-key messed up. So Randy is the type to fire someone, but in a kill them sort of way. I've talked to the creators of the show and I'm like, yeah, like, it seems like if I ever wanted to quit or, like, put in my 2 weeks, Randy would find me in the break room and just, like, cock his gun and be like, I heard you put in your 2 weeks. And then also, he has a thing for robots. Like, he likes them more than people. And I think it's because they don't question orders. Like, that's the type of person I am, like, thinking Randy is. And honestly, I don't think I'm wrong. And I hope that we get more, like, little seeds of that during season 2. Or possibly Rat's Nest, who knows. And sadly, I didn't have anything on our Mystery Spartan or Brigadier. But maybe after season 2, I'll have more. But now that we're done with the headcanons, we get to go into the ships. And oh my gosh, the ships, oh my gosh, there's only like 2 or 3, but dude, when I tell you about the last one. So let's get the first one out of the way. This one's canon, and I am so happy about it, because like, as soon as I started watching, I really shipped these two together, which is Sarah and Nicole. So as the series went on, I was really elated that this was actually a canon ship. Like, unlike other series, they'll feed you like little crumbs of, ooh, maybe they like each other, but this one's like, no, they're lesbians, and you're gonna love it, and I do! If you've watched shows like Arcane and The Nanny, you'd be familiar with the uptown girl romance trope, aka rich/poor romance. It's not really gender locked, it's just like rich person, poor person. And while their social sasses have no influence in the plot, putting Sarah and Nicole into this category really makes brainstorming for fanfictions oh so delicious. Like, you could put them in like, I don't think Cinderella, but like maybe like an Anastasia-like story. Or just like, you know what, just throw them in Arcane. Forget Caitlyn and Vi, it's Sarah and Nicole. Outside of tropes, their interactions make me so soft for these girls. Sarah is constantly trying to get Nicole to join her in doing activities like watching movies or even taking a nap together. I giggled so hard. That was so cute, and I lost my mind. Later on in the season, we can see Nicole worrying about her, and oh my gosh, these girls! I can't wait to see where they go with this couple in season 2. If anything happens to them, I'm gonna be so freaking sad. The next one, I will admit, is a crack ship, and there is no damn evidence that this is ever gonna be canon. So, it's June x Gef. The tsundere trope is a powerful thing. The idea is kind of interesting. I wrote down that it's more of like a black cat golden retriever relationship. Like, Gef is the sunshine baby boy who just wants to hang out with people, and June is the moody girl who would rather be in their room than with the rest of the gang. It will never be canon, and I can live with that. But you know what could be canon? I almost put this in the crack ship category too. I was gonna be like, here's the canon, here's the 2 crack ships, let me explain. But then I saw the fan art the creators released. Emery x Gef. Emery x Gef. Emery x Gef is going to be canon! But where and how did you put the ship together, you may ask? Remember how in Guard Duty Classic, Emery's main objective was the kidnapped Gef? I think that plot point is going to be reused for the modern series. Throughout Season 1, we've seen how time and time again Gef is denied any sort of positive interaction with his fellow guards. No one likes him or wants him to be around. But you know who does want him? Emery. I believe that Gef is gonna get Stockholm syndromed into liking Emery because out of everyone around him, he is the only person who's ever wanted him as badly as he's wanted someone else. And that is so tragic. And I think, honestly, that Emery is just gonna fall for him. Because why not? He cooks, he cleans, he's submissive. No, I will not say what you think I'm gonna say. And it just makes my brain go crazy thinking about how they're gonna pull this off. And like, are they gonna be dramatic or are they gonna keep to the silly? Because like, I would love for this to be as dramatic as I would want it to be. If no one wants Gef, there's only one person who wants Gef, and that's Emery. And that's gonna fuck with that boy's mind and with his heart. I'm more than excited for the implications there are for not only Season 2, but the upcoming sister series Rat's Nest. Like Rat's Nest, and going into Emery's backstory, Emery and Prim's backstory, is gonna be so... Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to make another video. But before I end this one, I want to address the unknown with a few questions that will actually probably be answered in the next series. Were the guards drafted into the SAFE program? What the hell is Blackout for? And more importantly, what is safe for? Hopefully these will be answered later on, maybe next year actually, because if I remember correctly, Rat's Nest just finished filming. But anyway, tell me what you thought about this series, if you've watched Guard Duty or if you watched this despite all the spoilers. I really hope that this will become a series that more people will enjoy, as it seems that I'm the only one in this fandom. Be sure to go follow Sip the Mighty, Jack Speedle, and of course, Spybox Studios for more episodes of Guard Duty. And hopefully I'll see you guys next year with another video. Bye bye!